r/askreddit. Posted by user, Charleston Red. What's your revenge on a cheating spouse? So here's mine's. I found out from a friend that another guy was driving my car while I'm working, so the next morning, I got up to go into work, but went to my friend's house to set the trap. I borrowed his car and waited at my apartment complex parking lot. About 1 hour later, he exits my apartment and into my car. I followed and called 911 to report my car stolen, told them that I was following the person, so it wasn't hard for the cops to catch him. So when the police pulled him over, keep in mind that I'm there too, and I'm on the phone with my ex, telling her someone stole my car, but don't worry because the police have him in custody. He proceeds to tell the police that he is promising from my ex to use the car, so the police calls her and she denies knowing the guy. Lol. So yeah, he got locked up and I moved out the same day. My spouse cheated on me 25 times that I know about. How do I know this? Because she made a list of 28 names. With dates and locations, I was number 3, and all 25 after me were while we were actively married. Granted, I knew she had been cheating. I was deployed 3 separate times between all of them. To say it was a toxic relationship was an understatement. I had a child with her, and so I stayed. The last person I actually caught her with in my bed was from my church. She always said if I didn't do, enter excuse, then she wouldn't cheat. I didn't even want revenge. I just wanted my kids and I to be happy. So when I caught her I just said, "You're done." And with the other man still in my bed she said, "If you leave me, I'll kill myself." Normally I'd say please baby don't. It's not worth it. This time I just said, bye. Ever since then I've gained full custody of my 2 beautiful children, and I couldn't be more happy. So my revenge was just finally being happy, honestly. At least you had a witness to why she shouldn't have custody. It's funny, my ex grew up super conservative. Strict morals and parents always judging. When I told them I was breaking up with their daughter, the mother says I knew a marriage to a sinner like you wouldn't last. I was kind of floored. Wait, it's my fault your daughter cheated on me? No. It's actually your super conservative upbringing that caused her to not openly go for the things that she wants, because she feels bad. So she sneaks behind your back and does what she wants. Then compartmentalized it, so she stays guilty-free, and convinces herself she's a good Christian. Living life well and eventual forgiveness. This is the only real answer. Spend some time being angry, cry, write their name in the sand and then piss on it, etc. Then say fuck them and move on to better things. Yeah, well, sometimes assholes end up dealing with other assholes and it's beautiful. Not everyone can be wholesome and it's for the greater good of entertainment. While moving out, I didn't want to be destructive or petty, but my sister was helping me and she sure did. I didn't let her destroy any of his video games or DVDs, but he has minor OCD about them. So, she opened all of them, and put the discs all back in random cases, then put them all back on the shelf in random order. Then she hid a pair of thong panties in his bed, for his mistress to find. And there was a disposable camera, from I can't remember what, that had a few pictures left on it. If he ever gets developed, he will be greeted by the sight of her asshole. My family is the best. Wait. Greeted by the sight of your sister's asshole? I am confused. That's not revenge, it's an unexpected bonus. She cheated and then left town to go back to the base we were both stationed at. Before we both left active duty. After I filed for divorce, I rented a storage container, put her stuff in it, and paid for 1 month of storage and mailed her a key and said she had 1 month to come and get it, or it would be auctioned off. One of the boxes had a layer of her stuff she really wanted, 1 layer of every picture, note she sent me, mementos and our wedding album, and then another layer of more of her stuff. I then found out what day she was coming to get the stuff from one of our mutual friends. The night before, I drove back to our old base and hung out with friends. The day she came to pick up her stuff she called me and asked if we could meet to talk about things. I told her no. Since I was in her town, not mine, and that we never needed to speak again. Only time I've ever purposely made someone cry. I don't regret it. Edit, forgot the word in. When I found out my ex-wife was cheating, we had a long talk and she was sorry, blah blah. I told her I needed a couple of days to think. After a day or two, I told her that I would forgive her under one condition: she had to find me a woman to sleep with to make us even. After about a week she arranged for a friend of hers and I to meet for the weekend. I banged her all weekend, and when the ex went to work on Monday, I moved all my stuff and myself out and divorced her. I would never do this, but I enjoyed pretending I was a person that would while I read it. You/goddamn pork chop. Yours was my favorite comment. I'm basically garbage in human form, and I'm okay with that. But, I take great pride in watching my very successful friends live vicariously through the shit I pull off. I can see it in their eyes when I tell them. If the question had been what's your revenge on a former boss, my story would have been much worse. Pretty harmless, but cheating ex wanted to get back together / make up. I picked her up from her house and back to my city, which is about 30 minutes away. Left her at a gas station and went home. Guess her dad came and picked her up, and she had to tell him why I would leave her there. Dad and I are still cool. You're my hero. The dad is mine. That's awesome. She cheated on me at least 5 times with random dudes. I stayed for my beautiful, wonderful stepchildren. She eventually left me for some guy who got out of prison for child pornography. She's still with him, but it turns out laws on where sex offenders live are pretty strict in most states. I've gotten her evicted from her home 4 times and counting. My kids are with their grandma because I have no legal rights, but at least I know they are safe. It's sort of a hobby. Funniest thing I've read all day. Power move. Not my spouse, but I had a girlfriend cheat on me, so I fucked 2 of her friends. How did you manage that? Did you just tell her friends she cheated? I didn't mention that at all. When I found out that she cheated, I broke up with her. I always thought her 2 friends were attractive but never made a move. They knew we weren't together anymore. I'm assuming she probably told them why. It's not like I dated them, it was a one-time thing with both. I've always found the friend to be adverse to the idea. Maybe I just don't follow rule number 1. I remember one of my buddies, as a joke to get back at his ex, decided to buy using her credit card 50 packs of extra small condoms online, and have it sent to their front door, the obvious joke being that her new fling had a small dick, and couldn't satisfy her as much. She ended up calling the police on him because of this, and he ended up being forced to pay $5,000 in damages. I hate stories like this. Yes, it's shitty for the other person to involve themselves in a marriage. But he isn't the one in the marriage. The wife is. This reads like the ex had no repercussions at all, while she should have been the only one to receive repercussions. It's one thing to be shitty. It's another to be shitty to the wrong person when it was the ex that broke a contract. Well, apparently mine was too fake of an attempt to reconcile with her, make her do things like cut off contact with the ex, be honest with me and tell me the entire extent of the affair, tell her parents as they thought I was beating her all the time, cut off contact with anybody else who encouraged or knew about the affair and didn't tell me. When I realized that, I basically had to force her kicking and screaming to do these kind of things. I decided that I needed to work on me more than I needed to force somebody to do something they didn't want to do. However, since leaving she has actually started to make an effort. I'm currently the belief, so that I need some time by myself. So it's not an option getting back together. You'll be so proud of yourself for not getting back to her. Maybe not today nor tomorrow, but very, very soon, mate. Stay strong. Do all the things you wanted to do but couldn't because you were on a relationship. Travel, regain contact with old pals. You've got this. Ticket to Asia is in the works. Just figuring out where, when and how long. Started to do more woodworking, and actually donate some time to getting good at it. And just finished my coaching course, where next fall I'll be coaching my youngest soccer team. Never had time for that before. Or at least that's what she told me. Ghost them and coldly ignore them. Then again, I'm a guy. One thing that all women love is attention. This girl, I was best friend with, whom I knew since freshman year of high school, and throughout it was drama after drama after drama. She knew how much I liked her and kept breadcrumbing me. We never went out, but she continuously lead me on and played with me. I'll spare the details because there was so much shit coming out both ends. During my first per second year of college, she tried to act all sweet and nice, saying she wants only me and wanted to be exclusive. In reality she was doing the same shit as in high school, and fooling around with an ex behind my back. Essentially she was trying to cuckold me so she could fit in with all her friends. She tried to gaslight me saying it's all my fault for everything that happened. I blocked her on everything and to this day she's trying to contact me. And the worst thing is, every time she tried to contact me, she was trying to sweep everything under the rug and redirect herself in the right. It's not the cheating that I find unforgivable, it's the constant manipulation and drama she caused that I just can't forgive. Last time I checked she's still living at home, gained a bunch more weight, she wasn't particularly attractive to begin with now that I think of it, and has no friends while I made numerous friends in college, have an incredible relationship with an incredible woman, and have a degree working in a field I absolutely love. Self-love and self-improvement are the key components to getting back at a cheating and manipulative ex. Sounds a lot like someone with borderline personality disorder. I fucked her other boyfriend. Laughing my ass off. Story please. Alright, story time I guess. So this happened almost a year ago. I know the post says spouse, but I'm 18. So she was my girlfriend at the time and we had been dating for a little over a year at the time. The person she was cheating on me with was one of my best friends, and he and I both worked at a seafood restaurant over the summers, and had been for a couple years. I had been suspicious of those two having a thing going on for about a month, and I decided that after our shift ended, usually around 11:30 p.m. since we were closing, what usually would happen would be we would finish, smoke a joint out on the harbor, and then go home. He ran out to his car to grab a lighter, leaving his phone right on the wooden boardwalk thing, and I happened to know the password. I checked his messages with the girl and just as I suspected, yup, they were banging. I confronted him as soon as he got back, and his response was essentially, why not form a love triangle? And, being high after, decided that it would be a spectacular idea to fuck in the walk-in refrigerator, which actually got us fired, but hey, at least I learned I was bi that day. So for 3 months after this happened, I had both a girlfriend and a boyfriend, until we all started hating each other, because we were constantly fighting for each other's attention. Moral of the story, don't try this at home, kids. Cheating ex lied to all of our friends, saying I abused her after we broke up, due to her cheating. None of my friends believed her, and a few of her friends I met were skeptical enough to text me and ask, so one of her best friends, she had two, who were sisters, texted me and asked me, so I told her the truth, and she apologized for knowing and not telling me she was hanging out with other guys. I said it was alright and asked if she wanted to get a drink. We did and hooked up a few times that week, and hung out at her house. Then a week or so later, I ended up hooking up with her other best friend, who was the first best friend's sister. When my ex found out, she blew up my phone and apparently went to her best friend's house, yelling at them from outside their house, till the cops showed up and made her leave. TLDR, ex cheated, so I fucked her two best friends. Nice job, dude.